Good morning, beautiful people. Today, I want to talk about how to make confident decisions without overthinking everything. What's up, guys? Welcome to your One Move Away podcast. Today, I'm going to be breaking down a little bit of my story and what it looks like to really get into procrastination, self-sabotage, repeating the same cycles. But we're going to focus on how to make clear decisions because a lot of times CEO, business owners, moms, dads, coaches, whoever you are, right? Doesn't matter who you are or what walk of life you come from. Everybody wants to succeed. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to grow. Yeah. So here's the real problem that I've ran into. There is a difference between thinking carefully and then thinking endlessly. Have you ever thought about that? I have found myself overthinking and endless thinking where nothing gets done. You see, most people overthink and they don't really know that they're trapping themselves in thought. They're often trying so hard to make the right decision that they become afraid to make one at all. And I've experienced that. What begins as wisdom, right, eventually becomes some sort of avoidance or mechanism that we use to deflect and to remove ourselves from making an actual choice. Sometimes we say we need a little bit more time or more clarity when what we really want is actual certainty, right? We want certainty that if we make a step, this is what's going to happen. We want to know that the decision will work before we make it. That is what we're going to talk about. See, we want to know there will not be any form of regret or criticism or resistance or unexpected consequences. And I get it. I've been there. Okay. Real decisions rarely give us that kind of guarantee, though. Taking it from me, married 6 years, traveling, most of the East Coast, ministering, speaking, traveling, writing, coaching, mentoring. This is a way of life. Right? At some point, you have to recognize when thinking has finished doing its job, and then it's execution. All right. So number one, I want you to write this down. Bring your decision back to its actual size. So it's one thing to take a magnifying glass and begin to magnify an issue or a problem and begin to look at it from a way to solve the problem, to execute. But overthinking makes one decision feel like your entire future depends on it. And again, your business, your life, your leadership, what you leave behind in legacy is attached to what you actually embody, not what you think, not one mess up. So, business decisions, what am I doing with my life, right? If we sometimes have those moments where we're not getting the outcome that we want. A leader opportunity comes and we're like, am I really called for this, right? The business is in your heart and you're like, what am I really supposed to do with my life? One thing after another, there's difficult conversations, right? That sometimes become a prediction about the entire relationship or future. So what I want you to do right now is stop asking one decision to answer every question about your future. That's not going to happen. Okay? It's just not. What we want to ask is, what exactly am I deciding right now? What's the one thing that I'm doing right now? See, a smaller, clear question creates a decision that you can actually evaluate. Now, what I want you to practice here is to, number one, you don't minimize the need to get something done. You minimize your ability to be aware of it and what to build, how to go execute that. Okay? Number two, I want you to write this down. Ask whether you need more data or information or do you need courage? See, sometimes waiting is wise and we may need numbers, counsel, time to pray, legal information, or sometimes conversations with spouses or better understanding of the consequences. We got to get specific, But the real question that I want to ask is, what exact information are you still waiting for? If you can name it, go get it. If you can't name it, then information may no longer be the problem. Right? You may already know enough to make an actual decision today. What you may not like is that what the decision requires from you. Now, this becomes mindset and character and behavior problem, right? Key distinction about this is you got to learn discernment moves towards a decision. Avoidance keeps moving the finish line. And it took me a while to really understand that for my own self. Let me give you an example. Let's use Moses as an example, right? In Exodus 3 and 4. Moses had some real questions. Who am I? What do I say? What if they don't believe me? What about my ability to speak? God addressed all of those concerns, right? The questions themselves were not even the problem. The problem would have been allowing the questions to become a permanent substitute for obedience. I'll say that again. The problem would have been allowing the questions. Who am I? What do I say? Will they believe me? What about me being able to speak? Those questions to become a permanent substitution for obedience. Let's land right here. Questions can be a part of discernment, but eventually the answer has to become a movement. You got to embody this thing, right? Number 4, I want you to write this down. Decide what enough information actually looks like for you. See, we live in a world with unlimited information. There's always another podcast, opinion, expert, story, warning, success, failure story, video, article, like it's everywhere. If you never define what you actually need to know, you can research your life away. Okay. More information does not automatically mean you're becoming wise. At some point, it becomes more of noise. And so we got to filter through a decision. I'm going to give you a couple questions. I want you to write this down, because the next time you struggle making an executive decision when it comes to your life or your business and relationships, let's look at these questions real quick. Okay. Number 1, what facts actually matter? Like what's actually happening right now? Number 2, what responsibility or responsibilities have to be considered right now? Moving into number 3, what values should be guiding me in this moment? Number 4, what risks do I genuinely need to understand? Number 5, who actually deserves a voice in this decision that I'm making? Now let's land right here. You don't necessarily need more information. You need information to make a responsible decision, not enough information to predict the outcome or future. And this is where a lot of people get stuck, including myself. This is the reason why I have your One Move Away podcast. I want to give you one more before we hop off today. Write this down. Stop expecting the right decision to produce an easy outcome. Okay? A good decision can still become very difficult, guys. A necessary conversation can still create tension. And this is necessary, okay? Wise business owners move even beyond their own setbacks. They don't push the deadline. They move against the grain. And even setbacks become that place of decision where disappointment don't take them to the grave, right? Leaders show up and they make a decision that another person's thought of me or the way that this outcome happened is not going to deter me from who I am and how I show up. Doing what you believe is right does not necessarily guarantee that everything afterward will feel okay. And I know this as a speaker, as a coach, as a husband, we travel, we minister. Listen, I understand what it feels like of doing the right thing and feeling bad or terrible afterwards. But you have to be okay with who you actually are and what you're called to do. It's important. See, difficulty is not automatic evidence that it's the wrong decision that you made. And I used to believe that crap. I need you to evaluate the process. So this is what we're going to do. I want you to write these questions down, because this helps you to see not only the right outcome or the decision, but recognize that when you're going after it, it's going to get hard and you want to have some questions to ask yourself. This is evaluating the process. Hey, did I pray? Number 1, did I pray? That's essential. Did I seek God on this matter? Number 2, did I deal honestly with the facts? Okay. When you're going through something and you're in transition and there's tension right before transformation, you need to look at facts instead of getting emotional. This is very clear when it comes to building businesses and building teams and, traveling and raising families and building technology. All these things require real data, real facts, right? Number 3, did I check my motives? Sometimes when we're in the thick of it, it's your motives that are getting you caught off. And I can say it like this. You want to be somewhere where you're not yet, and it's your motive that is actually complicating the process. But the process itself is good. You're on the right track, but you're getting ahead of yourself. I know too much about that. Number 4, did I seek counsel where it mattered? See, a lot of us, we run to people that are in our ear and telling us what we like to hear, but did you seek real counsel where it actually mattered? Oh, but if you do that, Daniel, you're going to do this, this, and that. I didn't see that. See, that's why you need counsel around you that isn't going to appraise everything you say. Number 5, did I consider the people affected? Which really goes into number 4, what I said. Did we seek counsel where it mattered? Because if we go and look for other people to give us advice, we often come away with a roadmap that helps or affects other people. You get that? This vertical type of lifestyle, you can climb the ladder, you can get up into high places, but can you live with the horizontal effect? Which means, can you receive from people and can you give to people without affecting people in a negative way? Okay. Number 6, did I act with integrity? Did I act with character? See, you are responsible for making the best decision you can with what you know. You are not responsible for controlling the outcome. I'm going to say it one more time. You are responsible. Some of you right now need to just say this over yourself. You are responsible for making the best decision you can with what you know. That's how you are being a disciple. You're doing what you know that you know. You are not responsible for controlling the outcomes of people, places, and things. Okay, so let's redefine a little bit of what confidence looks like. Confidence does not mean believing you cannot be wrong. That's not confidence. Confidence, that can often come into pride, but real confidence leaves room for humility. You make a firm decision and you still remain teachable. You make a forward gesture in life and you adjust with genuine new information as it appears, right? Based on what I know and what I value, the responsibilities that I carry, the counsel that I've received, and the direction I believe I need to take, this is the decision that I'm making. See, that's the core thought I want you to have today in this podcast. James 1:5 connects with this. The scripture tells us to ask God for wisdom. Wisdom and the omniscience of God is not necessarily the same thing. Wisdom helps you judge according to what you need. The omniscience of God would tell you everything that is going to happen. See, prophecy and wisdom is not necessarily the same. I want you to understand this. We are not promised to know everything and what is going to happen. Faith does not require knowing the entire roadmap before taking the next responsible step. That's confidence. That's faith. That's going to be developed in you. Okay? Once you decide, move. See, a strange thing often happens after a decision. The anxiety tries to get louder. Did I just move too quickly? What if I messed up? What did I do wrong? What if the other option was better? What if I did the wrong thing? That doesn't automatically mean you made the wrong decision. So these are these thoughts, these feelings that try to flood your nervous system, and it gets you all out of balance, gets you out of sync. That's why I talk about total life alignment. Turn the decision into a clear action. Got to go make the call? Make the call. Got to go schedule the meeting? Go schedule it. You need to see somebody and go send an email? Go send the email. Change the budget? Change the overhead? Go for it. Start new work? Get your career going? In that commitment or relationship, whatever it is, have that type of conversation. The distinction that I want you to have here is this. New information may justify changing a decision, right? But anxiety is not new information, right? You getting anxious and worried, that's not new data. That's your body. That's your feelings. That's what happens when you're doing something new. Overthinking lives in possibility. Action brings you into reality. Okay. Reality is what you make it, my friends. Okay. So the question that brings this all together is this. I want you to ask yourself this. Do I truly need more clarity, or do I already know what needs to happen and need the courage to do it? You may already know. The conversation needs to change. The spendings need to change. The conversation needs to happen. The schedule cannot continue. Right? The business needs some execution. It doesn't need another idea. The boundary needs to be set. A commitment needs to come to an end. The work here needs to begin. This is no longer you needing more clarity. It's courage to face the things that you can. Okay? Here's 5 questions to leave for you today. What exactly are you deciding? Getting off this call, what are you doing? What are you actually committed to changing today? What do you already know that you need to be doing? What information are you genuinely missing? And if nothing new became available, what decision would you make today? Even if you needed the information of how to do something, even if that information could not be found, what is the decision that you're making today? What is the first action that makes this decision actually real? What I'm doing is helping you build out a roadmap from how to align, build, and create new outcomes for your daily life. If you need, somebody to take you deeper, I know a few things of feeling stuck, not knowing what to do in business and relationship, ministry, whatever that looks like. I want to hop on a 45-minute call with you if you're having trouble identifying the decision, the pattern underneath it, and what that next move looks like. Schedule a call. We'll look at what is creating the friction. We'll separate the real issue from the noise and identify what is keeping you stuck. And from there, we'll determine a next right move that's suitable for you. One focused conversation, one clear next step to help you build from where you are at right now. We'll see you guys on the other side. This is the One Move Away podcast. I am excited to hear from you guys. Leave your comments down below. Leave your questions down below. And if you're ready to go to the next level, let's break those cycles. Hop on a call. I'll see you there.